Welcome to Lucas Invests, making money simple. Hi, before watching the video, click the subscribe button.
9.5 million Americans are currently in default on their student loans. 1 in every 5 people who borrowed money from the federal government to go to college is now in default, right now, as you watch this. 9 months ago, that number was closer to 5 million. In under a year, more than 4 million additional people fell into default. My name is Nick, and today we're going to break down exactly how this happened. Hit subscribe because this isn't a one-time story, it's the story of the next decade. Let's get into it. Total federal student loan debt in America sits at roughly $1.6 trillion, spread across more than 42 million borrowers. For 2 decades, tuition at public universities more than doubled after adjusting for inflation, while entry-level wages barely moved. That's the setup. The debt side of the equation kept growing, while the payoff side stayed flat. Then, March 2020 hit, and payments got suspended entirely for more than 3 years. Interest frozen, collections paused, balances frozen. For a lot of borrowers, that was the first time in their adult lives this obligation went quiet. But pauses end. Payments officially restarted in October 2023, with a 12-month grace period protecting borrowers from credit damage while they readjusted. That grace period ended in September 2024, and borrowers default after 9 consecutive missed payments. Do that math, and you land right around mid-2025, which is exactly when default numbers started exploding. In June 2025, about 5.3 million people were in default. By March of this year, 9.5 million. Together, they owe approximately $233 billion. Nearly 3 million more borrowers are sitting 30 to 270 days behind. If they don't catch up, total defaults could cross 12 million before the year ends. Here's what made it worse. For 5 years, the government also paused collections on already defaulted loans. No wage garnishment, no seized tax refunds. That pause ended in May 2025, when the Treasury Offset Program restarted and wage garnishment notices started going out. At the same time, income-driven repayment options got scaled back, so people who might have qualified for a near-zero monthly payment suddenly faced a standard bill they couldn't absorb. Rising payments, shrinking safety nets, and returning enforcement, all landing in the same 18-month window. Let's make this real. Call her Priya. 29, makes $52,000 a year, graduated with $38,000 in federal loans, actually below the national average. During the pause, her balance sat frozen. When payments restarted, her bill came to about $410 a month, right as her rent had climbed nearly 30%. She missed 1 payment, then a few more. 9 months later, she was in default, and she found out not from a warning letter, but from a credit score drop when she tried to refinance her car. That's the part nobody explains. Default doesn't arrive with a siren. It arrives quietly in the background, and you find out while trying to do something completely unrelated. Compare that to her parents' generation. In the early 1990s, the average borrower graduated owing under $10,000 in today's dollars. Today, it's over $37,000, while entry-level pay barely moved. Same trap we see in housing. The starting line moved back, the finish line stayed put. Quick note, not financial advice, just the mechanics. If you're in default, there are real paths out. Loan rehabilitation lets you make 9 reduced, income-based payments to exit default and eventually clear it from your credit report. Consolidation gets you out of default faster, though the credit mark lingers. And income-driven repayment, even in its scaled-back form, can bring your monthly bill down to something your budget can actually survive, which is usually the root issue in the first place. Here's the honest takeaway. This isn't a story about irresponsible borrowers. It's a debt system whose costs grew for 2 decades while wages didn't, followed by 3 years of silence, followed by an abrupt restart with shrinking protections, all landing on one generation within 18 months. If you're one of the 9.5 million, that spiral isn't a reflection of your character. It's a formula that stopped balancing long before you personally felt it. If this helped you make sense of what's happening to millions of people right now, hit like and subscribe, because we're tracking exactly where this goes next. I'll see you in the next one.